Now, just over 10 hours' time at midnight, the first marriage services in the UK will be held for same-sex couples.
The ceremonies will take place in England and Wales. Scotland, which passed a same-sex marriage bill last month, is likely to see its first weddings in October.
Well, the Times columnist Matthew Paris, who helped found the gay equality group Stonewall 25 years ago, is here. And Father Edmund Montgomery, a Catholic priest, also joins us from Stockport. Matthew, to you first. 25 years ago, when you were sort of sitting in a darkened room talking about all of this, did you ever believe we'd be here and this would be happening today?
Not in a million years. Our argument was about whether we dared to go for lowering the age of consent from 21 to 18. Some thought we could go for 16, others thought we'd never get more than 18. No one thought we'd get civil partnerships, and nobody even dreamed that we would get marriage.
Father Edmund Montgomery, you have reservations. Today, a letter signed by the Bishop of Buckingham, several retired Church of England bishops, 5 Anglican cathedral deans, rabbis, Quakers, even an evangelical Christian leader have talked about rejoicing as people of faith, welcoming this development. Why are you not able to open your heart to it too?
Well, first, it's great to be here with Matthew Paris. As a law student, I used to read Matthew's articles, and he's got a great article out at the moment, actually, about the campaign for civil rights for homosexual people. Remember, the Catholic Church endorsed the Wolfenden Report back in the 1960s that decriminalised homosexuality. And the Catholic Church teaching, just to clarify, is that any unjust discrimination against people on the basis of orientation is immoral. So that's important to say at the beginning. But what we have with the same-sex law is changing the very nature of marriage itself. So it's not about clearing away discrimination, but changing the very heart of marriage, something which we can't agree with, I'm afraid.
But marriage is about love between two people. What is it that you find hard about that?
Well, it's not my personal perspective as a priest. I'm never speaking on behalf of myself, but I speak on behalf of the church, a worldwide church which is growing all the time. And in my dealing with people who are preparing for marriage, it is about love, and there's a lot of excitement today, I know, for those same-sex couples who are looking forward to it. So love is at the heart of marriage. We wouldn't want to diminish the genuine feelings of affection and love that same-sex couples have for each other. But there's something unique about the nature of marriage between one man and one woman. So it's not my personal view, but that which is shared by over 1.5 billion people around the world. It's not about discrimination, but it's about cherishing what is at the heart of marriage between a man and a woman.
How do you feel about that? Because there is legislation to say that there can be same-sex marriage now, but as you can hear, there is still resistance to it in the Catholic Church. It's been forced through by legislation.
Yes, and not just in the Catholic Church. Amongst a lot of people, including my own party, the Conservative Party, particularly of a certain generation. And I understand what Father Montgomery says. We've got used to using the word marriage in one specific way, and it comes hard for people, especially older people, to think that we might change in any way the use of the word. But I would take issue with him on this. This does not take away marriage from those who are already married. It doesn't change the way in which they're married. It simply adds other people's happiness to their own. I don't really want to rage against people as bigots or prejudiced. I understand that people take time to change. What has amazed me is how much of Britain, how quickly, has moved towards backing us in this. I have been really heartened by that.
Is that the problem, Father Edmund Montgomery, that this change has come perhaps just a little too quickly for the Church?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm 29, I'm a very young priest. It's an issue perhaps of our age, isn't it, of our generation. And Matthew Paris and those who have worked with him to change the attitudes know that marriage isn't just a word. All those discriminatory laws against people of the loving people of the same gender, you don't change things by changing a word, do you, Matthew? And that's the danger. And if it's just about changing that word marriage, actually not going to the core issue. And I think it might distract attention from actually getting away the bigotry that exists towards people who have a homosexual orientation.
I completely agree. You don't change things just by changing words.
Yeah.
You don't change things by stopping people calling black people by names that I won't say on air. You don't change things by saying that people shouldn't say queer or puff or perverted or all that. But what you can do, I think, is reflect in the language that you use the attitudes, the culture of your society. And I think those attitudes are changing. I think the society is changing, so I think the words should change with it.
Matthew, you have a civil partnership. Are you going to, and I'm going to use that awful word, upgrade, that the government is talking about today? to a full marriage?
My partner won't let me use the word upgrade. Yes, later this year, civil partnerships will be able to be changed to marriages, but no parties, no more weddings, no dancing, no more champagne, no more speeches. Enough of my Saturdays have been spent on that kind of thing already. Just a quiet dinner with Julian, I think.
OK, Matthew Paris and Father Edmund Montgomery, thank you both very much for joining us.
Thank you.